Hey, you're watching Dead Press. I'm speaking with Andy of My Art is Murder. How's it going?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. Enjoying the dismal Manchester weather?
Yeah, I would have liked to have gone cycling today, but unfortunately it's
Not really green, is it?
Yeah, no.
A bit different to Australia.
Yeah, a little bit different.
Yeah. So, what's it like to be back in the UK? I think was the last time you were here with you headlining the Pericon Festival?
Yes, we played in the room right there
Yep.
about 6 months ago. I think it sold out too, which was great.
Definitely.
Yeah.
A bit of a bigger stage than the downstairs one stage.
Yes, it was part of the Pericon festivals, and today we're just here for our headline tour on the new record, so
Awesome.
hopefully it'll sell out also.
Awesome. Well, speaking of the new album, it's the fourth one now, Dear Desolation. How have the fans and the critics been reacting to it?
So far so good, as far as I can tell. You know, it's our highest charting position around the world for the record. In Australia we got, who is that? Sorry. Highest charting position around the world in all territories. I don't know about the UK actually, because no one really cares about the UK.
No.
But you know, it exceeded our expectations. The reaction from fans, critics alike has been great.
Awesome.
I guess selfishly, most importantly, we're the most pleased with it as we have been with the record. So
awesome.
it's always a satisfying feeling because you never know. It's kind of like making a child, and maybe the kid could be not what you wanted, or unattractive. You never really know. You just get what you get. And same with us, making a record so involved, but at the same time so detached that you really don't get a chance to see what it is until it's finished, and you sit on it for a month, and we're very happy with it. So.
And like a child, you want to be proud of it for years to come. So.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome. Do you think you made Deathcore great again with the album?
Yeah, I'm sorry for coining that catchphrase. Yeah, I guess we did. I mean, we probably ruined it in the first place, so it's for us to bring it back.
It's all right, you redeemed yourself. Do you think there are any bands out there that are kind of detrimental to the deathcore scene, or on the flip side that are kind of bringing vibrancy to it?
Could not tell you, to be honest.
No?
We just kind of focus on doing our own thing and having fun with what we do. We're kind of not involved in a scene, or we just like the bands that we like. We're friends with the bands that we like and that we tour with, and we like that they do their own thing and are not too involved as well. So, I mean, as far as deathcore, I mean, it's such an all-encompassing subgenre now. I mean, you have technical, progressive death metal bands like Fallujah that some people still call deathcore, and in my opinion, they're one of the greatest metal bands on the planet today. We're a deathcore band, Suicide Silence is a deathcore band, Fit for an Autopsy is a deathcore band, but I mean, again, they're just a progressive metal band that's blown out of what the genre used to be.
Yeah.
And because that's what they used to be called, that's what they're still called, and it doesn't really make much sense to me. So we don't really care. We do our own thing, and we just like other bands that we like.
That's what you should do.
Yes, with all things in life.
So what made you settle on Dear Desolation as the album title?
I thought that it summarised the record and vibe, and it also gave it like an address. With Holy War, I came up with a name for that one as well, and Hate, I came up with a name for that one as well. It was just so obvious immediately. The Hate was unbridled aggression and just more youthful, at least, than what we are now. Just very aggressive and angry and emotional. So it summed up the record perfectly. Holy War was predetermined from the get-go, from the time that we had the song. We kind of knew that summarised the global vibe of the time. And we addressed a lot of those issues, whereas Dear Desolation was a lot harder to title, and it wasn't a title first, whereas Holy War was the name of the record first, and Hate was the name of the record first before we had the song Holy War, or the purest strain of hate. Dear Desolation is lyric from the song Dear Desolation, so backwardsly became a title track. But no, that was the unifying theme from all of the lyrics, because it's a lot more introspective on this record, a lot more soul-searching, a lot more contemplation of what it means to be alive, and what it means to face the challenges that we as a species are facing in the next century.
Cool. Well, obviously fans and followers of the band will know kind of like the turbulence that led between Holy War and Dear Desolation in terms of obviously CJ leaving, CJ eventually coming back. Was there any point before then that there was a bit of uncertainty as to what was going on? Was there any hunt for a new vocalist before the aspect of CJ returning coming into line?
Publicly, perhaps there was, but under the hood, there's always a lot more brewing.
Yeah.
Nick Carter would have sung on the record. We had gone in to make the record anyhow before CJ had come back to the band. And we would have been quite happy with regards to that turnout. Also, obviously, it's the best thing for him to come back to the band. We've been together as a band now for 7 or 8 years with the same lineup.
Quite a long time.
Yeah, and it does feed into the way that you think creatively as well. So we would think about how Lee would play drums on the album, or how Sean would write a riff, or he might think about how I would play a solo over his riff, or so on. And when we think about those things, we think about his voice, because it's the only voice in our memory of what gets sung over our music.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just makes sense that way.
Yeah. So at what point was it a serious thing that CJ was going to return?
What about it?
At what point was that a serious thing that was going to happen?
Probably last December, a little bit less than a year ago. So we've been talking to Nick, and he'd been on tour with us a couple of times throughout the year, and is one of our best friends now. And he was very excited to sing on the record, and obviously he knew that the door was open for CJ to return if he or we could facilitate that to happen. And I guess he got quite nervous about it. We got quite nervous about it. Is this guy really reformed? Is he kind of who he says he's becoming, a better version of himself?
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of mistrust that happens in a friendship like that, because people have to understand that he left the band and whatnot in a fairly tumultuous manner, and for reasons that had nothing to do with us. I mean, publicly he blamed the band, and then publicly since he's kind of said no, it was his fault. And so that was damaging to our band as a creative conglomerate, but also damaging to the Institute of the Artist Motor of the business, and that's our jobs, livelihoods. We have friends and families and people that work for us. So it does become a very serious matter, like, can we trust this person to not destroy a business again that we've worked so hard in the last 18 months to maintain?
Yeah.
So that was another big factor. But, after a lot of serious discussion amongst ourselves and between us and him him with his family and whatnot, we were able to make it work.
Awesome. And obviously you got the Desolation at the end of it, so...
Yeah. I mean, pretty good result.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, before Dear Desolation came out, and it was back in August of last year, you did that split EP with The Acacia Strain and Fit for an Autopsy.
Yes.
Have you ever thought of doing another split EP like that? Would, if the opportunity came to light that you could do that again, do you think you'd do it?
Yes. I mean, I wouldn't say that it's in the process of making it right now, but we're in the process of setting it up. So Will Putney, who's the band leader from Fit for an Autopsy, is one of my best friends, and we talk every day.
Okay.
And I guess maybe 1 or 2 weeks ago it came up during a call. We're like, we've got to start thinking about how we're going to do the next one and what the spin will be like. The last one was cover songs. What could it be this time? So we've got to develop the concept and then figure out a third band that we can do it with, and then plan when we can record it.
Still very early stages.
Yeah. But it's definitely something that we were stoked with the result. It was a lot of fun to make it, and we'd like to make another one.
Cool. Well, what made you, because you did the Rammstein cover, what made you settle on do Hearts by Rammstein?
I don't know. It was Sean's idea. He had 2 options that he came up with in his head. One was some song by The Prodigy, which also
strange, right?
Yeah. And we settled on Rammstein. We all agreed it was a great song. The last 2 years, the band's become more and more successful in Germany. We thought it'd be great to play a song by a German band to give some love back to our German fans, and it went over quite well.
Awesome. Well, the year's coming to an end now. What else is planned for the rest of 2017 and indeed the start of 2018?
We're looking into mid-2019 already.
Oh really?
So,
That far
yeah,
ahead?
yeah, it's soul crushing to kind of lay your whole life out before you, and
It's already planned for you.
I don't even know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight, you know. So it's very confusing. A lot of hard work. Hopefully a split somewhere amongst everything.
Yep.
You know, but we've got a lot of touring planned out. We'd like the opportunity. We've never really had the opportunity to represent a record as to its maximum capacity around the world. With Hate, the band was still growing and gaining some kind of reputation. With Holy War, obviously, CJ left the band. It didn't give us a chance to kind of play the record from front to back.
Yeah.
So this time, we'd really like to bring a great production, a great show around the world, and play the record, you know, in its entirety or close to it. So that's what we're trying to figure out.
Great. Any final words before we close up today?
No, not really.
No?
I'm really hungry, so I don't know what I'm going to eat today. And hopefully you like our band, so if you do, thanks.